I want to welcome everybody to our monthly speaker series. We've had a large kind of range of speakers over the past year. Hopefully we will continue to do that. It's my pleasure this evening to introduce Andrew Peck, who I've gotten to know over the past few months as we've been trying to stimulate creativity and innovation at places where it's really difficult. I spent a week, 3 weeks ago, with the top management of POSCO Steel in Korea. For those of you who ever worked in Korea or lived in Korea, it's one of the most disciplined, kind of top-down command control cultures you can imagine. And POSCO is the second largest steel company in the world and is a dedicated Six Sigma organization. So, trying to encourage creativity, and the chairman of that company has decided that his mantra for the next 5 years is going to be innovation, coming out of Korea, Six Sigma, and steel. And then for the last week, I was in Dubai with the largest bank in the Middle East, Emirates Bank, and again trying to stimulate creativity with an incredibly diverse culture. I mean, there were Saudis and Emiratis, as well as Indians and Pakistanis and Germans and Russians and Brits and a few Americans thrown in as well. So we did have the diversity. On the other hand, you know, you're constantly aware that this is, you know, a kind of Arabic culture dominated bank. It's an Islamic bank and Sharia law and everything else. So getting them to think creatively around the Sharia law was kind of an interesting kind of journey as well. So Andrew has written kind of a wonderful book recently. He's written two, but this one I think is particularly good. The first one was more of a cookbook for innovation. It was published in 2006. This is both about stimulating creativity in yourself, but it's also incredibly valuable in terms of how you can stimulate creativity in organizations and in individuals as parts of teams. So it's a great read. It's a fun read as opposed to most business books these days. It's not really a business book. If you look through it, it's got great kind of illustrations and quotes and everything else. So it's a much friendlier book than most of the stuff that you'll run around these days. So Andrew is president of a company called iVibe, based out of New York City, that he co-founded. Graduated from Case Western. We actually have somebody here who teaches at Case Western, wherever Greg Bauer is. Where'd he go? There he comes. So it's my pleasure to, Andrew's worked with many of the kind of larger companies in this area, as well as individuals and smaller companies. He teaches as well. So companies he's worked for: Alcan, Bayer, BP, Conoco, Dell, Limited, LTD Steel, Pfizer. So kind of across the board, and hopefully he'll share some of those experiences with you, both large companies and small. He's got a great little company in New York called iVibe, for those who are particularly interested in kind of the innovation space and kind of bringing creativity to business. So with that, I'd like to have Andrew move on. So thank you.